Kilkanaście miliardów złotych.
Several billion zloty have already been spent and more than 20 more have already been contracted for the Olefins 3 investments. This did not prevent the current Orlen management from stopping investments crucial to the development of the Polish economy. Unfortunately, there are more such halted investments. What else has been stopped and why? Today, I'm taking a closer look at the situation.
Orlen już nie będzie liderem.
Orlen will no longer be a leader. This causes the Germans to set trends for us, by the way, and this is what they want. And to be honest, if they say that this is an exaggerated investment, then let them see the Saudis, who are building an even larger such installation. Let them look at the American direction and other directions. Orlen announced that the company's supervisory board has agreed to halt the Olefins 3 complex construction project in its current scope. It cites the unprofitability of the investment as the reason. The investment in its current scope, given its ever-increasing costs, a distant completion date and the lack of promising prospects for the petrochemical sector in Europe, has no business justification and cannot be continued. It is no secret that the main downside of the Olefins 3 investment is that it began under the Law and Justice government. That's why it had to be stopped. It was the same with the construction of the Central Transportation Port or Intel's factory in Poland. I think this fits into a certain direction of industrial policy, in which most of these new investments, and the investments in olefins is one of them, will most likely be stopped. Coalition steamroll has already driven over the Central Transportation Port and now over Olefins 3, the largest petrochemical investment in Europe, which Orlen was supposed to build. Lack of ambition, complexes, micromania. They're destroying everything that could give Poland development. Who does this serve? We all know, and it's not about the Poles. Let's stop them. The Central Transportation Port is also to be truncated, to say the least, and once again postponed. The document confirms the plan to delay the commissioning of the Central Transportation Port Airport until the end of 2032. Meanwhile, it is still possible to complete construction by the end of 2030, but it is necessary, for example, to apply for a location decision with the rigour of immediate implementability. Meanwhile, Mr. Minister Maciej Lasek, for reasons unknown only to himself, intends to wait for the entire coming year for the localisation decision to become final, which blocks the possibility of applying for a construction permit. We have behind us a year of cooling national ambitions, a year of killing the most important projects for the Polish economy, that is. For example, the case of the Central Transportation Port, which we already know today, will be delayed for years, and when it comes to the scale of the investment, it will be significantly reduced. In addition, 19,800 people will lose their jobs this year as a result of group layoffs carried out by companies throughout Poland. Also by state-owned companies like Poczta Polska and PKP Cargo. It may be true that they do not support Polish entrepreneurship, but they do everything so that there is no foreign investment. The flagship example is the investment of the American company Intel, the agreement negotiated by the government of Law and Justice, by the government of Mateusz Morawiecki. The only thing to do was not to spoil it, and today we hear that there will be no Intel in Poland. Intel's former chief executive officer asks for prayers for laid-off workers. In turn, the opposition poses a question. Who will benefit from all this, if not the Polish economy? Olefins, I would say, is such an absolutely scandalous example, or an example of the anti-Polish anti-state. Well, I don't know who is functioning there in this government, how many different comrades and their appendages, German or Russian, there are. And the next question is whether, in your opinion, Orlen's investment in Olefins 3 could have threatened German interests. Of course it did. I waive this question. Only that the Polish government should act in the defence of Polish companies, not other people's interests. And about that, there should be no doubt.